Hello, Gail here. Eventually, I know it's been nearly 3 weeks since my last video, and I've been just overwhelmed with things going on, looking after my husband, going to the quilt show, which went quite well. I can't show you my big quilting because I don't know how it is, but I did show everybody my my Liberty block, which I quilted. Can you see the stitches? My little quilting stitches. Anyway, I demonstrated some of that, pieced together my back, and I did my coronation quilt. It was quite successful. It wasn't very busy, but everyone who came was interested, and hopefully we'll get some new members from it. People won the raffle, and yeah, it was okay. And my auntie Mavis came and had a visit socially with me rather than looking around. Anyway, yes, that was that weekend, and I got back home and my husband was still going strong. You know, I'd left him all that time. Then what happened? Can't remember what's been going on. My daughter, after having her cornea removed, was in an awful lot of pain. She didn't go to work. That's extremely unusual. She got all sorts of prizes at school for being present for every single lesson during the 5 years that she was there. So she really doesn't like to take time off. She's a right goer-inner. But she was in a lot of pain. She was forever putting drops in and worrying about whether or not it was going to heal. Anyway, it's a lot better now. She was worried after the first week because she had just a patch of blurriness. But that's faded away as well. So that seems to have gone okay. I was talking to my other daughter yesterday, I think, and she was telling me that her burns are doing okay. They seem to be healing okay. She can't see any lumps forming. It doesn't hurt to touch. It's just a different colour, and she mustn't let it go in the sun and things like that, so we don't need to worry about that either so much. You know, you can't stop completely, can you? My grandson has got some new glasses and they are super duper, and the opticians have taken lots of pictures of him to put on their website, so he's a free model. They're not paying him. They did give him a goodie bag with stickers in and things, so he's chuffed enough. But he looks lovely in his new glasses. He's coming up to being 6 now. My granddaughter, she had her birthday, and she liked the pram, not particularly the doll I'd made. Oh, and I have brought things in to show you the doll I've made. Now, this isn't working very well, so we'll see if it's working. To show you, I've got it ready. There we are. That's the doll I made. Can you see that? Let's move that around. There. She came, I've told you, I think, that she came as a kit. She was printed on a panel of kind of velvet fabric, velveteen. So it's lovely and soft, and I sewed it all by hand. And the dress she's got on, just in case you weren't looking, I made entirely out of my daughter's old dress. That's my daughter's dress from when she was about 5, and I chopped it up and made a dress. And she had 2 nappies, one that came in the kit and one that I made, and I made her a nightie because my grandson came and had a look at her and said, what does she go to bed in? So I made her a long pink nightie for sleeping in, and a dress out of my granddaughter's old baby grow. That was very nice. And the one that came with the kit. So she had 3 dresses, a nightie and 2 nappies, and the bottle that she holds with magnets. And in the pram there is a cushion and a blanket, but she was most interested in the tea set. It was a picnic set I bought her. It was a plastic box that was textured like woven wicker, and it had a handle and lift up sides, and inside there was tablecloth and cups and saucers and forks and a teapot and pretend cakes. Yeah, she spent all of it wasn't a birthday till the next day. We saw her on the Sunday, but she spent all of her visits at our house eating pretend cakes with 2 forks. and pouring everybody a drink and then drinking it and things like that. So that went quite well. And a little face just lit up when we all sang happy birthday. They're so rewarding, aren't they, grandchildren? You haven't got time to pay attention when you're the actual parent. Anyway, yes, that went okay. And then I think, I can't remember. I've not been very well. I'm at the hospital on Monday for some scans. My white blood cells are high, and something else. But so they've done another blood test and they're even higher now. And then I had to go along to the hospital a few days ago because I was in so much pain. And I thought, if it's gone in the morning, I won't bother. But in the morning it was worse, so I had to go to the hospital. You know, you can't ignore pain for weeks or anything, can you? So it'd been going on 24 hours, so I went along and they couldn't find there was any problem. I had no other symptoms apart from pain, and it wasn't like the appendix or anything. And they did blood tests. Anyway, they've given me painkillers and antibiotics. Now, I don't know if I've told you about my antibiotic situation. I probably have. I don't usually shut up about it. Now, apparently, I'm told there is a triangle of antibiotics, and it's divided into 5 sections. And the bottom section is penicillin, which I'm allergic to. I've been allergic to that since I was about 13. And then the next section I'm allergic to as well. Now, I don't know what's in that section, but they told me to say whenever I was asked that I was allergic to sulphur-based antibiotics. So I presume that they're in the next section. And then I'm allergic to penicillin, no, not penicillin, an antibiotic called macrobid. And that means there's a 3rd section I can't use. So I'm only got the top 2 sections to get any antibiotics from. So everybody else uses these bottom ones and I have to use these top ones. So at the time that they told me that, I was very worried I was going to die of an infection because there wouldn't be any antibiotics to treat me. But I've been assured they develop new ones all the time and they can always combine them and come up with something to save me if I need saving. But when they're that high up the tier, people who can take general run-of-the-mill antibiotics should be very pleased because they're not nice, the antibiotics at that top bit. They have horrible side effects, like not on the one I'm taking now, but one that I've taken in the past. One of the side effects was genital blisters. They wouldn't give that to the general public, would they? Anyway, I didn't get that side effect either, I'm glad to say. But I am feeling pretty rotten. Yeah, the pain's not so bad, so it must be doing the job. And I've not had to take the strong painkillers the hospital gave me. I'm doing all right, but I feel a bit rough, you know. And everything tastes horrible. I don't like the taste of tea or anything anymore. Anyway, that's enough about me feeling sorry for myself. Hopefully they'll find out what the problem is and get me sorted on Monday. My husband has been post-stroke for 4 weeks now and he is allowed to drive. He hasn't driven yet. I've asked him if he can remember how to drive. He says yes, because there's lots of things he can't remember. We were on to the insurance company this morning to let them know he'd had a stroke. Apparently with 1 stroke, you don't have to inform anyone, but he's had 2 now. We've got to also let the DVLA know. And then we had the drama. I'll tell you about that in a minute. First of all, I'm going to show you what I've been buying. Now, this is, you know, Monet's garden. And on the internet, which is where I get everything, it looked bigger than this. It looked like a bigger print. So I ordered a metre of it, and it's very wide because I thought that I could put that on the wall behind our bed head, which is kind of enclosed by the wardrobes, you know, and top cupboard. And I don't know what to put there. I did try hanging all my hats there, but they all fell off. Anyway, so I ordered this, and I don't think it's going to do the job. I don't think it's big enough. Anyway, it's nice material. I'll do something with it, but I don't think I'm going to put it behind the bed head like I was going to. I'm sure it'll come in handy somewhere. And then I've been gathering together all my Christmas things because, as you know, well, that's all Christmas things, I'm allowed to make Christmas quilts for my 2 youngest grandchildren. So I've been digging around and I've still not found what I'm looking for. I have got another panel, a Christmas panel, the 12 Days of Christmas, and I can't find that. But I have found this, a panel of little squares. So I might incorporate that into their quilts. And I've got this one, which is, yeah, I didn't know I had these, you know, I just came across them. Because you can't remember everything, can you? I've got this one, which is very blue. So I might put that on my grandson's quilt rather than my granddaughter's. And then I've got this one, which is also very blue, so that will go nicely around the outside. And then I've got this one. I like this one because it's animals. It's got penguins and things. That's nice, isn't it? So I'll cut all these squares out, you see, and then piece them together around the edges, because they'll be nice at the top and bottom, but going down the side they'll be side on, so I've cut them out and piece them. And then I've got this red one with teddy bears on. Very nice. And I've found this piece of material, which is I don't know what they're called, gingerbread people. Yes, I think there's men and women on there. So I'll be able to use that somewhere in the design. And these are still all things I found that I already had. Now I've got this, I don't know who's this by, because I have a feeling it might be Robin Pickens. Yes, it is. It's Splendid by Robin Pickens. Now, you know I'm a big fan of Robin Pickens, and I've just been looking at the new Moda catalogue, which has come out today. And she's got another Christmas range coming out next year. I'm going to have too many Christmas quilts. I'm going to have to start, you know, having one per week and changing them over. I'm not going to use this on the children's Christmas quilt, though. It's way too grown up for them. I don't remember buying it. Well, I do. I got it off my D-Stash group. But don't tell me, I can't tell you where from. Now, I've got this, and I've got my current Christmas quilt has got this in it. The one that we've got is those sorts of colours. I don't like it really. You know, I enjoyed making it, but once it was made, I went off it. It's a shame, isn't it, that? Now this is the material I got because it goes with the 12 Days of Christmas panel that I bought. But I can't find the panel. And in fact, the quilt that was going to be hanging behind me today, I can't find that either. I don't know where it is. I'm going to have a good old root around and sort out in here. I'm thinking of, you know, buying those comic boards. If any of you have got those and you can recommend them, let me know. I'm thinking of it, but, you know, I've got so many fabrics, it's going to cost me a fortune. Mind you, everything costs me a fortune. Now, these are fabrics I've bought. Not that I've pinched any, you know, but I've bought specially this year. Now, this I ordered because my grandson is mad on cars. So I thought I'd put this on the back for him, maybe. He likes to stop in the street and look at the car that's parked. He's only 2. But yeah, he's very interested in cars. And I bought this one because, again, for going down the sides, I thought I could cut these out, these little circular things, and put them in nice little places. It's Father Christmases and snowmen. And I bought these plain ones. Well, they're not plain, but, you know, stars on red and sprinkles on green. So they can go in it as well. Now, oh, I've also got this one. Yes, this is snowmen. Because on my granddaughter's one, I plan on putting snowmen on the back. So I thought that was nice. It is nice, isn't it? It's lovely. They're all nice. What else have I got? Now oh, is that not the same as that one? Oh, I got 2, yes. My elder daughter, who lives locally, she doesn't want me to make any advent calendars. They like to buy them, and they also have little advent stockings that they put things in. But my other daughter, who lives far away, she said, oh yes, you can make him an advent calendar. So I bought this one. That's nice, isn't it? Let's see if I can get his feet in the picture. Can you see his feet? Yeah. And it's got all the little squares to cut out and make pockets on the bottom there. So I ordered this, and after about 3 weeks, and it still hadn't come, the lady who posted it, she said, gosh, I don't know what's happened. She said, I posted 6 things all at the same time and nobody's got them. And she gave me my money back, and I thought, I said to her, it's a shame, isn't it, that you're not insured, but they don't insure the postage just for a metre of material or something. I felt really bad. Anyway, I had to go and buy another one then. So I bought another one. Exactly the same. From somewhere else. I got it like 2 days later. And I thought, right, I'll be making that. I'm not going to do it. Well, I suppose I ought to do it before the quilt, really, in case the quilt gets in the way of me making that by the end of November. It is nearly October. Anyway, I bought another one, and then about 3 weeks after that, I got a card through the door from the post office telling me I owed £1.50 postage. And I thought, I'd ordered some fabric off a man that still hasn't come, 5 metres. I thought, it's that. He's not charged me enough postage. I've got to pay towards it. And it wasn't. It was the other lady's advent panel. See, I've got 2. And you know why I had to pay extra for postage? Because she had sent it, and presumably all the other parcels, with a first class stamp on. And it had taken 6 weeks to get to me. And I thought, well, hopefully she'll have learnt a lesson. She might think to herself, well, maybe a first class stamp isn't enough for things to get to people. And the people on the other end shouldn't have to pay £1.50 postage. She charged me for postage and just put a first class stamp on. So I've got 2. I decided to keep it. Anyway, I have got 3 panels for 2 children because I couldn't choose, and I still can't choose. So the first one that I have bought, I hope you can be able to see it. They're all lovely. Can you see that? I think I'm going to cut the black off. I think I'm not too keen on the black around the edge. But that's a lovely panel, isn't it, for a Christmas quilt for a 2-year-old? I thought. And then I got this one, and this has got a lot of black on as well. I don't know why they want to put black on children's bed panels, but there's that one. Very similar. They're both stood in front of doors. But that's nice, isn't it? I liked that one, and I ordered it. And I told you last week I wasn't going to do the flower fairy one, or last video. What are we up to now? Is this video 34? And I ordered this one. Now, I would have ordered another one exactly the same and given them the same, but I can't find another one of this anywhere. And that's lovely as well, isn't it? So I might have to, you know, dip my blue ship to decide who gets what, because I can't decide. And then, last of all, I bought this material because I thought it would make a lovely border, but I don't think I bought enough. Anyway, it is lovely. It's just stripes of them snowmen and wintry Christmassy bird huts. Aren't they lovely? You see what I mean about them? If I put them down the side, they'll be side on, won't they? They won't be stood up. So maybe I'll just put them at the top and the bottom. So that's all the Christmas fabric I've got to make 2 quilts for little people in my life. Oh, not showing you the dress. Yes, on my granddaughter's birthday, I made her a party dress. made her a doll clothes, bought her a pram and a picnic set. I had a picnic rug in it, and she knew exactly, she was putting it on the floor and putting all the plates on. Anyway, I made her a party dress. It was too small, so I've had to alter it a bit, and I've not given it her yet. I just ironed it when I came in here, so here it is. I've not pulled all of the threads out either, because I did have to undo it. Can you see that? I bought the check material, which is kind of silky, but there wasn't enough of it, so I had to incorporate the green, which is quilting material, and then I added a bow. Now this bow, you see the middle of the bow is kind of fluffy stuff. That's the selvage. I thought it was lovely, fluffy selvage. So I don't know what it's made of. And I've not decided yet whether or not to put a bit of elastic on the sleeves. What do you think? It's nice, isn't it? Do you think it's nice? I did buttons and rouleau loops because I really couldn't be bothered doing buttonholes and things. Now, while I was on the internet buying all these Christmas things and whatnot, I found this and I thought, oh, that's lovely, so I bought it for me. My husband's saying to me, what are you going to do with it? I said, I don't know, but I think I'm going to make some pin cushions, maybe give them my friends for Christmas. Aren't they lovely? Little elephants with birdies and rabbits, and a little mousey in the squirting water on the flowers. It was about £1.50 this for a strip. I thought it was lovely. So I better make something with it, or my daughters will be annoyed when they have to sort it out. Now, I can't decide, I can't remember whether or not I showed you this. I might have already shown you. It's a panel that I've bought to make something for my granddaughter with, because it's very pink. Look at animals on it. It's got a very nice blue whale at the bottom there. Did I show you that? I bought it just because it was lovely, and I thought, I've got a granddaughter, I can buy lovely pink things now, can't I? And have you heard of Janet Clare? Well, a few weeks ago she was selling this as part of a kit on Sewing Street, and then somebody who bought the kit was selling the booklet, so I bought it. And the whatever it's called, a reindeer, you cut out all the parts and then you fix them together, you know, with those tabbed split pins, and then you can move the arms and legs and get them all in different positions like they are there. I thought that would be nice. I'll have fun doing something with them. I don't know what I'm going to make. It's also got penguins and polar bears, and you can make a toy out of them, penguins and polar bears. I suppose you could out of the whatever it's called, reindeer. Why can't I remember what that's called? Yeah, so yes, I'm quite happy as I bought that. It's, you know, a little bit less than it was being sold online or wherever. And then a new person, I was going to say supplier. Are they suppliers? A fairly new shop I go to now. Online, obviously, because I don't go out to the shops. She was getting rid of some ends of lines, and I bought this. I've got 2.8 meters of this ivory. Now, can you see it's got little circles on it? I bought that nice and cheap because, you know, I like to buy these self-patterned different backings. And I bought these. Now, these I have bought for my grandson who loves cars. Well, he loves anything with an engine or wheels, so I bought those. I bought cranes and tractors, and I got more cranes and tractors. Or maybe they're not tractors, I don't know what they are, but they're little boy type things, aren't they? And I bought some of that cotton to go with it. and some of that one. So I'm accumulating things, you know, like I'm accumulating dinosaurs for my older grandson. This is for my younger grandson. So I thought that those fabrics went with both of those. So I've accumulated some of those. And my last purchase is this. It's the latest version of William Morris. Now I did get some from Fabric Treasures for the UK, Sheila, who sells Moda, but it was a much lighter green, and really I wanted this darker green, so I've got 2 of these now, 2 parcels. I think that's all I've got to show you. I've shown you the dress, yes. This is probably my last opportunity to wear this summer dress. That's why I've got it on, even though it's a little bit chilly. Well, it's 20 degrees in here, so it's not so bad. Oh yes, I was going to tell you about the trouble, wasn't I? The trouble. Well, last Saturday, 8:30 in the morning, there was something going on in the streets, and I thought, what's that? So I had a look on my doorbell camera. You know, you can go live, see what it is. So it's a truck, and it's like an open backed truck where you open the doors, and usually we get them coming down the street wanting your old metal. They want your old washers and your rubbish. And they were in the middle of our street outside our house doing all this clanging and banging with the doors and things. And I thought, what's going on here? I did wonder if it was the waterboard, because you know we're having things done with the waterboard as well since the flood. Anyway, they went up the path across the road, and then they reversed straight across, and I thought, they're going to reverse into our car. Anyway, they reversed right next to our car, up next door's drive. I thought, this must be the men that are coming to chop his tree down. He told us that he'd arranged for some men to come at some time, he didn't know when, which we thought was a bit strange, to chop his tree down, the cheapest he could find, because, you know, he doesn't want to spend his money. So my husband gets his keys for his car, even though he's not allowed to drive, to go and move the car off the driveway. Oh, he's just coming now with a cup of tea. Good boy. Come and put it on the table then. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Okay, can you see the steam? It's not very warm in here. Can you see how it's steaming? Possibly not, but it is. It's steaming. I'll let it be a bit of a heater. Anyway, so here's our drive. Suppose this is our house is here, and next door's house is here, and we have a drive which is very close. There's maybe a foot in between that isn't flagged, and that's our border. And my husband was parked right up to the border, because he'd had to move the car to get the dustbins out the day before. It was dustbin day the day before. And he'd put the dustbins away, but he'd not put the car back. So he went out to move the car over more on our side of the drive so that they could have more room. So he went out and had a look. Well, he went out to go down the side of the car and get in, but there wasn't room for him to get down the side of the car between him and the truck. Between the car and the truck. Never mind open the car door. So he must have frowned, and the man who was driving the truck got out. "What's up with you, mate?" He was very aggressive, swearing, shouting, and then there was all this pointing going on, you know, and he was saying, "I've seen that look on your face." like that's a reason to be all aggressive. Anyway, and my husband was saying, I just wanted to, but he wouldn't listen. He was busy yelling and shouting. Anyway, he comes advancing down our drive, yelling and shouting. And my husband says to him, "Stop right there, get off my property." So he did. He stopped, thankfully, and he went back on next door's property and starts yelling at him over the fence. So my husband came in. I thought, that fella that's come to chop down next door's trees, a right moody bloke. No need for that, is there? Anyway, half an hour later, we can hear them with their, I don't know what they're called, chainsaws. Is that what they do? There's a bloke right up the tree. The tree is way higher than the houses. He's right up the tree, chopping the branches off. And the fellas are in the garden. There was 3 of them. Picking up the branches and the debris and throwing it in the back of the truck. There was a fella in the back of the truck who was chainsawing everything that was thrown at him. So there was all bits of wood and sawdust and twigs squirting out the back of the truck, going all over our car. And we noticed when we were looking out the window that they'd taken 2 of our fence panels out. Why have they taken the fence panels out? I said. He says, I've no idea. Because they're in next door's garden. What do they need to take the fence panels out between our garden and next door's garden? And, you know, they'd not been and said, is it all right if we take the fence panels out? There were our fence panels. Anyway, we stayed out of the way because, you know, they had chainsaws and we're not in a good mood. Well, that bloke wasn't. Anyway, there's this almighty bang. And it's a great big branch that they'd cut off, and it landed on our shed. Not my shed. Our shed. It's next to my shed, which we've had for 40 years. It was pretty dilapidated, but it still held things that my husband had been collecting over the years. It had a hole in it where the squirrels were going in and out in our wildlife garden. Anyway, my husband goes out, and there's 2 blokes in our garden with their chainsaws, telling my husband that our shed was knackered anyway, dragging dragging branches back into next door's garden. But our shed now has a flat roof, and the side of the shed is no longer attached to the front and the back, each end of the shed. So, you know, all the glass in the windows are broken. And they don't care. They said they would get us some new glass. I mean, what's the point of having new glass in a side of shed that isn't shed shaped anymore and doesn't actually attach itself to the ends or the ceiling, the roof? Anyway, it went on. My husband left him shouting at him with his chainsaw whizzing, went in the house, went out the front door, went and knocked on next door's door. And he was talking to the man next door when the bloke with the chainsaw comes running down the side of the house and joins in the conversation with his shouting about how the shed was worn out anyway, in, you know, not such nice words. Anyway, my husband came in. It was what, 2 weeks after his stroke or something. He didn't want to be fighting or even having anything to do with irate men who obviously don't know how to cut down a tree properly. And he'd said to the next door neighbour, are they insured? And he's going, oh yeah, I asked him if they were insured, but he didn't see any insurance or anything. So I went out and took a photograph of their car registration, because I thought, if they just drive off, we need to be able to trace them, you know, because we didn't know who they were. They had no writing on the truck or anything. Anyway, I was telling my daughters on my phone, and my daughter that lives far away, she researched the registration number of the truck, and it came back as not being taxed. And I thought, good, I'll tell the police that he's using a truck that's not taxed, and that'll teach him. So I got onto the police, and they asked me all sorts of questions, and then they said, right, stay in your house and don't interact with him. And we thought, maybe he's a known criminal. Maybe he's, you know, he's renowned for being aggressive, and we'll stay away from him. So we just stayed in the house the rest of the time. They came at 8:30 and they left about 2:30, 3 o'clock. So anyway, my husband went to talk to next door, and he was livid because we'd contacted the police. He didn't want the police involved. Now, why wouldn't you want the police involved? We know why. It's because those men were scary, and you don't want them to come and beat you up because you contacted the police. Anyway, the police came round the next day, and apparently if we want to sue them, we can sue them for aggravated assault, criminal damage and negligence. He said it's up to us. So we've had quite a to-do. My husband, as you know, was on the verge of having another stroke. I think, God, he was so annoyed. And then you feel so victimised. You know, I mean, we've got a squashed in shed here and we can't do anything about it. We've had a horrible week. And then, of course, I get all these pains. So that's where I've been. I had a nice week buying Christmas things and making dresses. And then I had all that palaver. And then I've been a bit full of pain. Anyway, that leads to today. And today, I think, is Friday. Not very sure. Let me think. 25, 26, 27. It's the 29th today of September. The sky is blue. But I think it's autumn. Trees are all, you know, full of brown leaves. The conker tree just looks like it's shriveled up and died. Loads of conkers, but you know, the leaves haven't gone a nice autumny colour. They've gone dead. Kind of, everything's going winter rather than autumn. Anyway, I'm going to have to start choosing what to put together, aren't I? I'll do, as I said, I will do the advent calendar first, because that needs to be ready in a month. And I'm not the quickest of people to do things. And I do want to put together my, whatever it's called, Drunkard's Path, my Drunkard's Path quilt. I've chosen the pattern. I don't know if it'll work though, because mine are all coloured rather than coloured and white, you know, light and dark. So I'll have to see. Hopefully I'll be able to tell you how that went next time I get online. And providing nothing terrible happens in the meantime to put me off, keep me away, I'll hopefully get another one out soon. So I hope this leaves you well. Bye bye.